Welcome to our HB Tuners live training session, part 2 with our 2002 Pontiac Firebird. In this video, we're going to learn how to take our VCM Scanner software and create all kinds of custom histograms based on channels that we're logging. We're going to be using the histograms to help us tune out our mass airflow tables, our speed density tables, even tuning our idle control. So I'm going to walk you through the entire process. There's going to be a lot to cover, so let's jump into our live training video so we can get started. Welcome back to our live training session here with our Pontiac Firebird. In our last video, we learned how to build our base file around the modifications this vehicle had. We flashed it to the ECM. We're ready to fire up the engine now. But before we do that, we need to jump into our VCM Scanner software so that we can create custom channels, custom histograms, custom math channels, different chart versus time, so that when we're reviewing our data, we know exactly what's going on and we can move back into our VCM editor here and make our proper editing changes and the proper tables. So this is going to always be kind of the next step. Once you build out your VCM scanner, you don't need to do it again. It's going to save all that information, but we want to go in and start off kind of fresh here and just make sure that we have everything set up so that we can scan properly when we're looking at our data. So let's move into our VCM scanner software. I have it open right now. What we're going to find here, very first thing we need to do is establish what vehicle we're working with so the software knows. We can see right now in the offline mode, I had a 2013 Chevy Suburban as the last car my cable was connected to. So what I want to do is go into my connect the vehicle icon. It's going to be going and connecting to the vehicle and then letting the VCM scanner know what kind of vehicle we're working with. So let's do that right now. It's going to take a second here. It's going to gather all of the information, and we can see now it knows it's a 2002 Pontiac Firebird. Now, the next step here is to go into our channels. I'm going to go in here and go to Load Vehicle Defaults. It knows that we're working with a 2002 Pontiac Firebird. By going in here, it's going to load all of the default parameters for the vehicle we're working with. So that's going to be the next step. The channels here are what we want to log, what we want to take a look at. So if I actually go here into my start scanning, if I start to scan, it'll start to populate my data down here. So we have to have our core channels brought into our channels list. That way we can build our histograms here in our graph, or the chart versus time having our data here. So we have to log it here to see it here, or to use it in any of our math equations as we're going to be taking a look at here in this video. So if I go to my start scanning, right now my key is on, my engine is off, I'm connected to my MPVI-2 cable that's plugged into my laptop, so we're ready to actually do a scan here. So just click scan, we can see we have our data coming in here. This is going to be the equivalent if you're used to working with the OP2 scan tool. You can see live data if you're looking at that scan tool. That's exactly what this is doing right now. So we're going to find this channel list here is the bare bones. We need a lot more channels to evaluate what's going on here. So we need to add on to this channels list. Once we do that, then we can start to build out more of our VCM scanner here. So if you're coming from the training course, the Gen 3 training course, I did supply a Gen 3 logging template or VCM template here, but we're going to build one for this vehicle in this video just so you can see kind of how the process is going to go. It's really not difficult, but it's nice to know how to do it. So we're just going to replicate it here again, really spend the most part of this video just going through setting up everything in our histogram so that when we do get it running and we do start to tune, everything will make sense. It's going to be vitally important that we have this process, so we know what to do and we have all of our channels established, because otherwise you're going to be wasting a tremendous time trying to figure out what's going on. You can flash all you want in the VCM editor, but unless you have your scanner set up right, you are going to be spending a ton of time figuring out what's going on. All right, so let's go into our channels. The first thing I want to do is add in my wideband from my MPVI-2 cable. So I have a Pro cable, Pro link, I have my AM wideband gauge, I have the 0 to 5 volt wire, the white wire, coming out of the gauge, going into my Pro link. So I need to go and set that up first. So in my channels list, I can click anywhere I want. We can see this blue bar right here. That's where it's going to put my channel. I'm specifically putting it on top of my EQ ratio, command it, and my air fuel command it, and my O2 voltages. We'll kind of keep that paired together here in our channels list. What I'm going to do is right click here, go to add channel. I'm going to go down here into external inputs, into my MPVI-2, into my ProLink, and then I'm going to be grabbing my AD input 1. That's the red wire on my ProLink. That's where I have the white wire for my AM 30-4110 gauge. That's the part number of the gauge. That's where I have that white wire 0 to 5 volt coming into my ProLink. That's going to allow the VCM scanner to read that. We can transform that into usable data so we can see what the wideband's doing and build our histograms out, which is going to be really important here. So right now we have our AD input 1. We double click that and we can see it's added in here. Now looking at this, if we go to our scanner here, this is going to be reading voltage. So right now it's just looking at the raw voltage. We need to do a transform, so it transforms the voltage into either air fuel or into a lambda scale. Now, we're going to be working in lambda scale. The air fuel might be more familiar, but because, jumping in here. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.